Dear students, today's topic is hypothesis. So, what is hypothesis? In research methodology, it is very important topic. It is called hypothesis. So, hypothesis is a specific statement of prediction. A hypothesis is a specific statement of prediction. So, it describes in concrete rather than theoretical terms that you accept will happen in your study. I repeat, a hypothesis is a specific statement of prediction. It describes in concrete rather than theoretical terms that you expect will happen in your study. Not all studies have hypothesis. It is also clear. Not all studies have hypothesis. So sometimes a study is designed to be an exploratory. So there is no formal hypothesis, and perhaps the purpose of the study is to explore some area more thoroughly in order to develop some specific hypothesis or prediction that can be tested in future research. So a single study may have one or many hypotheses. So hypothesis is a tentative statement about the relationship between two or more variable. Is a tentative statement about the relationship between two or more variable. It is a specific testable prediction about what you expect to happen in a study. So, how does a hypothesis begin? What do you do with it? How do you make one? So, how does a hypothesis begin? What do you do with it? How do you make one? So, how does a hypothesis begin? So scientists make lots of observation. This leads them to form scientific questions about what they have observed. Each scientist creates an explanation or hypothesis that he or she thinks will answer the question. So simple, when we are talking about an hypothesis, actually whenever I talk about an hypothesis, I am really thinking simultaneously about two hypotheses. Let's say that you predict that there will be a relationship between two variables in your study. So the way we would formally set up the hypothesis test is to formulate two hypothesis statements. One that describes your prediction and one that describes all the possible outcome with respect to the hypothesized relationship. So your prediction is that the variable A and variable B will be related. You do not care whether it is a positive or negative relationship. The only other possible outcome would be that the variable A and B are not related. So usually we call the hypothesis that you support your prediction the alternative hypothesis. And we call the hypothesis that describe the remaining possible outcome the null hypothesis. Later on we discuss about null and alternative hypothesis. So how does a hypothesis begin? So a scientist bases his or her hypothesis both on what he or she has observed and on what he or she already knows to be true. So these are the basic steps of scientific method: making a hypothesis, simple asking a question, completing research, making a hypothesis, planning an investigation, recording and analyzing data, explaining the data, communicating the research. Now, look at this example. See, a scientist notices that the tomato plant closest to his or her neighbor yard is much taller than any other plant in his garden. Clear? A scientist noticed that the tomato plant closest to his or her neighbor yard is much taller than any of other plants in his garden. It means in the whole garden, the tomato plant is much taller than any other plant in the garden. He or she also notices that the neighbor turns on his sprinkler system every day, and that some of this water reaches only her big plant. Now the scientist creates a question: does daily watering from a sprinkler make a tomato plant grow faster than other tomato plants? Does daily watering from a sprinkler make a tomato plant grow faster than other tomato plant? So the scientist creates this hypothesis to address this question. If I water the tomatoes in my garden daily, then they will grow faster because tomato grows more when they get more water. Now it is only an example of hypothesis. There is no particular testing or it is only an hypothesis. If I water the tomatoes in my garden daily, then they will grow faster because tomato grows more when they get more water. So the hypothesis is that a scientist lead him or her to make a prediction that can be tested next in an investigation. Now remember this, the hypothesis that a scientist leads him or her to make a prediction, and the prediction that can be tested. So notice how the example scientist hypothesis make a prediction that can be tested. So if I water the tomatoes in my garden daily, then they will grow faster because tomato grows more when they get more water. What will the scientist do in the investigation to test her hypothesis? So in science, a prediction is an educated guess. Remember, in science, a prediction is an educated guess about the expected outcome of a specific test. So in science, hypothesis goes further. So hypotheses include a possible explanation. Now remember, hypothesis includes a possible explanation about why the expected outcome of a test will occur. Now see, a hypothesis includes a possible explanation about why the expected outcome of a test will occur. Test will occur. Now the question is in your mind, what is the difference between a hypothesis and prediction? Now take an example of prediction. Now the example of prediction is, if it gets cold outside, the leaves will change color. If it gets cold outside, the leaves will change color. This is an example of prediction. If it gets cold outside, the leaves will change color. Now example of hypothesis is, if it gets cold outside, then the leaves will change color. Leaves will change color because leaf color change is related to temperature. That is an hypothesis. So when we talking about a prediction and hypothesis, so this is the difference. Simple in prediction, say that if it get cold outside, the leaves will change color, but the question is how the leaves will change color. So in hypothesis, if it gets cold outside, the leaves will change color because leaf color change is related to temperature. This. So how do you write a hypothesis? A good hypothesis includes two parts. First, a prediction about the outcome of a scientific investigation. A prediction about the outcome of a scientific investigation, and second, an explanation for why those results will occur. So if you write a good hypothesis, you must include these two. First, the prediction about the outcome of a scientific investigation, and an explanation for why those results will occur. So how do you write a hypothesis? So hypothesis is worded as prediction about what will happen if you change something. For example, if kids eat a lot of chocolate, or toffee, candy, whatever you say, then they will get more cavities, because sugar on teeth causes cavity. Clear? So how do you write a hypothesis? A good hypothesis is worded like if, then, because, or I predict, because I think, because. So I give you the example of how you write a hypothesis. Say the example: if kids eat a lot of pizza, then they will get sick stomach, because a lot of pizza all at once is hard for the stomach to digest. If we write if kids eat a pizza, then they will get a sick stomach, it is a half statement. So if kids eat a lot of pizza, then they will get a sick stomach, because a lot of pizza all at once is hard for the stomach to digest. Now the question is, after the word if, then, and because. So if, explain what will change in the investigation. After the word then, write what you predict will happen as a result of that change. After the word because, explain why you think the result will happen. I given another example of hypothesis. If salt is added to a plant soil, then the plant will die. But how plant will die? Because salt will dry out the soil so that there is not enough water left for the plant. That's what I said to you. If, then, because. So if people spend more time in the sun, then they will be more likely to get some skin infection, because exposure to ultraviolet light in sunlight causes that disease. So the purpose of hypothesis testing is to help the researcher or administrator in reaching a decision concerning a population by examining a sample from that population. So the purpose of hypothesis testing is to help the researcher or administrator in reaching a decision concerning a population by examining a sample for which we derived from that population. So how you test a hypothesis? So hypothesis testing can be used to determine hypothesis testing. You have to test the hypothesis. So hypothesis testing can be used to determine whether a statement about the value of a population. Hypothesis testing can be used to determine whether A statement about the value of a population parameter should or should not be rejected. Should or should not be rejected. Like, a new teaching method is developed. A new teaching method is developed that is believed to be better than the old method. That's why a new teaching method is developed. A new Salesforce bonus plan is developed. A new Salesforce bonus plan is developed in attempt to increase sales. A new drug is developed with the goal of lowering blood pressure more than the existing drug. So a research study includes at least two hypotheses: the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So the hypothesis being tested is referred to as null hypothesis. The hypothesis being tested is referred to as null hypothesis, and it is designated as H or H0. It also is referred to as the hypothesis of no difference and should include a statement of equality. So the alternative hypothesis on the other side present the alternative to the null and include a statement of inequality. Statement of inequality. So the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis are complementary. So the null hypothesis is a statement that is believed to be correct, throughout the analysis, and it is null hypothesis upon which the analysis is based. For example, the null hypothesis might state that the average age of entering college is 21 years. So what null hypothesis describe? H0, the average age of entering college equal to 21 years. So if the data one collect and analyzes indicates that the average age of entering college is greater than or less than 21 years, the null hypothesis is rejected. So in this case, the alternative hypothesis could be stated in the different ways, like the average age of entering college is not 21 years. It means the average age of entering college is not equal to 21. That's what we are talking about. The alternative hypothesis present the alternative to the null and include the statement of inequality. Second, the average age of entering college is less than 21 years. It is also possible case. The third, the average age of entering college is greater than 21 years. Greater than 21 years. So the null hypothesis denoted by H0 is a tentative assumption about a population parameter, and the alternative hypothesis denoted by H1 is the opposite of what is stated in the null hypothesis. So what is stated in the null hypothesis, opposite of what is stated in the null hypothesis, that is known as alternative hypothesis. So the hypothesis testing procedure uses data from a sample to test the two competing statements indicated by H0 and H1. H0 and H1. So this is what the example I am talking about. at this example. Now see, entering a college for a age that is less than 21 years, the null hypothesis is rejected. So in the case, the alternative hypothesis could be stated. So these are the three different ways. So if your prediction specifies a direction and the null, therefore is there no difference prediction and the prediction of the opposite direction. We call this one-tailed hypothesis. So this is what the null and alternative hypothesis. Another thing in null and alternative hypothesis is hypothesis testing when we are talking about. So a statistical hypothesis is some statement, assumption about the population which or which may not be true under hypothesis testing. So when we are talking about a null hypothesis, if we want to test any statement about the population, test a statement about the population, we set up null hypothesis which say that the statement is true, statement is true. Now remember this when we are talking about a null hypothesis testing. If we want to test any statement about the population, we set up null hypothesis which say that the statement is true. Example, if we find out if the population mean has a specified value, say mu naught, then null hypothesis is set up as h naught is equal to mu naught. And alternative hypothesis h1 is equal to mu is equal to or not to mu naught. So when we are talking about developing null and alternative hypothesis, so alternative hypothesis as a research hypothesis, for example, which we discussed in the last slide, a new teaching method is developed that is believed to be better than the current method. Now this is what the example is. A new teaching method is developed that is believed to be better than the current method. This is an example. So alternative hypothesis mean the new teaching method is better. The new teaching method is better. Example is a new teaching method is developed that is believed to be better than the current method. So alternative hypothesis is the new teaching method is better, but the null hypothesis that the new method is no better than the old method. That is what developing a null and alternative hypothesis. Thank you, class.